Day two of forward testing our prop firm trading bot, and it went pretty decent. So a huge improvement from yesterday, 60% yesterday to 70% win rate today, so very solid. We took 47 trades, which is quite a bit. The bot wins about 65% of the time on a 2-year back test with 100,000 trades. So it's very consistent, but we know what the win rate's going to be. In the morning, I took a couple trades and I just wasn't a huge fan of some of the positions we were taking. And so I ended our live stream short, went live for about an hour or so, ended that one, and then went back to the drawing board, reconfigured the way I wanted the bot to operate, and we made some huge adjustments. So this was the overall day's progress where we ended up making 2,300 bucks. And we had a big losing trade in the morning, and this one was the one I was kind of like, maybe I need to update this. But it was okay. We go back live in the afternoon, and here's how that looked. So 93% win rate. Again, we changed a couple things in the bot. We ended up making $4,300 with losing 940. So we made most of our money. We actually lost money in the morning, made our money in the back end, which is how we ended up being profitable. So super exciting. Our largest win was $1,000, so really good trade entry there. And our largest loss was 940. Kind of just ran down and hit our stop loss. Now I was trading 4 contracts, and so the way that's going to work is you can see this here. Number of winning contracts 32, losing contracts 4. Now, I didn't actually take 16 trades. What happened was we had a couple positions where we were in 4 contracts. Price moved in our favor. We sold one. Price moved up again, sold another. And then we closed a trade out. I think we did that twice. And so that gave us a few extra trades that weren't actually positions that were open. So the win rate's a little bit skewed, but not the profit and loss. So very exciting progress. We'll have some more over the weekend. Short day on Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we should be back and ready to test in a couple evals. And then knock out some performance accounts. So check out some of the trades from the afternoon session. This is the bot that we're probably going to work on from here on. See you. All right, new trade alert. Let's get to work here. Now we are trading 4 contracts here, so quite a bit of movement will show up as far as P&L goes. So not to worry about that too much. What I would say is we're probably looking at about 13 points being off. So 13 times 20 times 4. So about a $1,000 loss would be, I would say, about where I'd expect. And then wins somewhere in that region as well. So we'll obviously close out losses a little before that if we see it's trending that way. We'll close out some wins earlier as well. All right, let's close that out. All right. Close though. Happy to have some folks in here this afternoon, early afternoon, about an hour and 40 minutes till market close. So hopefully we can get a few more trades in. We're averaging about a trade every probably like 5 minutes. So we'll see kind of where that lands us. But made some updates today. Made some I think major updates as far as where trades are actually taken. So if you can see down here, basically at a lot of these low points, we're able to capture a lot of really good value. And then obviously we'll take some shorts as well as price continues to work its way up. But a lot of really good trades being taken here. We had a $800 trade, I think, taken right there. That was really nice. Hoping to get the same thing here, but we'll see kind of where that puts us. ATR is sitting at about 8. So like it's a decent number. We can still make a lot of money with that, but it's definitely less than the open or where price begins the day at. So be okay there. So let's see. I'll let this trade kind of run its course, and we'll see how it turns out. Again, about $1,000 is going to be our stop, so we'll use that. And then let's see where price wants to be here. Ideally, with a lot of these trades, I want them to be 1, 2 candles, maybe 3 at the most. As far as like the losers go, the winners might run a little bit, but for the most part, I want these trades to be very quick and very efficient. And so that way you're not waiting 20, 30 minutes for a trade to hopefully go in your direction. Wait just a couple minutes, if that. And so a trade like this right here, where we go long right there, kind of in that same spot. Okay, we're down still on 240, but we go long right here. Price gets profitable, like we get profitable and we stay profitable for a while, but we don't really get to work higher than that. Like that'd be a time where you'd want to take profit and just kind of hang tight. Here's the same kind of thing. If we get profitable, but we can't get above these levels here and run, then maybe taking profit at some of this at a smaller number makes the most sense. So there's 220, 240. Good. Let's see if we can get to about 5 on this one. So we had to hold this one for about 2 candles before it turned profitable. And then here is candle number 3. All right, there's 440. Good. 540. Okay, 6. Nice. Let's see. Good. 8. Nice. Kind of looking at this level up here as a target. Now that's only 2 point. There it is. 900,000. There it is. Okay, we'll take 1,080 on that trade there. So really nice. Super solid there. Now what you're seeing that just populated was the partial take profit level. So that would be like if you wanted to turn that on and have a potential take profit on, you could have that, or at least that level drawn out. I'm working on some updates where essentially when this trade gets triggered, you'll know where your partial take profit is, you'll know where your stop loss is continuously, and then you'll know where your well, there won't be a take profit. So that was cool. First trade of the session plus 1,000, so pretty solid there. In the chat, 64%, which by the way is 14% higher than what we were looking at yesterday. So there's that. Okay, so long trade here. Let's see how this one turns out. Again, we're going to use about $1,000 as our stop here. The reason for that is that's going to be about 10 points or 12 points. I don't remember what the math was on that. I think it's 10 points. Oops, times 20 times 4. That's 800. We're using like 12 points as our stop, so 1,020 or so. So that BMI down 380, 400. Not a huge deal because we're in 4 contracts. What's the entry criteria? It's essentially looking at Nintendo a grouping of candles. So looking at a group of candles and then making a decision based on the wicks and the price action. It's 100% price action. So every candle, or not every candle, but a grouping of candles will be made a determination, and then we'll take a trade from there, which is how we're able to get so many of these trades at these bottoms or these lows. That's how it's happening here. We get so many of these trades at these bottoms. Hopefully this is another bottom as well. So this one we went for $1,000 on, so that was a nice trade there. This one I caught as well. Take a screenshot of that one. This one too, and this one was solid as well. But yeah, just a grouping of trades. But you're basically scalping. Yes. What else would we be doing, Nintendo? What else would we be doing? So, okay. Let's see what price wants to do here. Be patient with it. Give it some room to work. See what price wants to do with this. One of my thoughts is, yeah, I want to see if this level right here can be held. If it can, cool. If it can't, then like we're probably headed way down, somewhere down here. So I'll let this one play itself out, of course, but it's about what I'm thinking. Is it a huge stop loss? Opportunity to assist with beta testing, Blitz? No need to really assist. I have all the data. A lot of it's just going to be making sure that we get the execution properly. Nintendo is is it a huge stop loss? No, he's just asking. Not necessarily. So if a 12-point stop loss, like just start doing some math here, and I know you're not hating, I just like to answer things very directly. But so let's take my 12 points. 12 points, 12 times 20. Okay, that's one contract. It's $240. Now I'm trading with 4 contracts here just to test this thing out, just to show some different things. But 240 bucks is like I should be down 100 and well, yeah, 120 bucks right now or whatever that is. So not too much of a stop loss. I don't like big stops. I don't want huge drawdown. We're gonna get numeric large drawdown because this trade's going to be large because there's 4 contracts on it. But if this was one contract, it wouldn't look all that bad. You'd think, yeah, that's not that big of a deal. But we have to get used to larger numbers because what I do want is if we can hold these trades a little bit longer, we'll be able to capture 800, 900, $1,000 on these moves with 1 or even 2 contracts. Like that is very possible. We did it with 4, but I think if we had let it run a little bit further, we could have done it with just 2. We'd have had to give up here though. All right, so let's see again if we're going to try to hold this thing or if we're done with this move. Price is really holding here, so that's nice. But I don't know how much I believe in this move here. Okay. So holding down here, pushing back up into this range, this 629-ish area, 630. Let's see. We dealt with some drawdown on this trade here as well. So we entered, I think it was like up here, and then price flew down on us, and then it pulled back, flew down again, pulled back, and then we got crazy profitable. Not saying that's going to happen again, but like that did just happen. So be patient here. Price likes this area. This must be an order block of some sort. So let's let this ride out. Okay, so we get profitable. Good. Now again, if we're trading one contract, we'd be up $20 or $5 or whatever it is. So just keep that in mind. One of the issues may have to deal with is huge spikes. Nintendo wouldn't be that big of a deal. All we'd have to do is just like if I okay, well there are like 100 ways to solve that. One way to solve that would be to just not trade the open. Like that's very easy, I would say. If that makes sense. There's one. The other way would be to just add a filter to where if the ATR is of a certain size, then we just don't trade. Now that would have to be there's a partial take profit right there at 240. Okay, good. So I see that. Very nice. The other would be like if we added an ATR as the take profit, that would be helpful. That'd be great. Um, but then you'd have to adjust it for every asset that you trade. So it'd be different on NQ on a 1 minute chart, a 2 minute chart, a 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, hourly, whatever it was. And it'd be different on an ES chart as well, or anything else you traded. So I mean, keep that in mind. But if I'm having an issue dealing with the big moves, then just go to micros. That's an option as well. Or just don't trade that time. Just like literally sit out for the first hour. And then because you have to do nothing but watch this thing take trades, you don't have to do a whole lot. So just be near your phone, turn the notifications on, and let it work. All right, so let's see. So we were up, what, $200 on that? Now we're up 140. Good. 120. Okay, so now we're building, which is nice. Building up here. So solid entry obviously could have been a little bit lower. That'd be great if it was down here, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. 200. All right. And then again, if you wanted to manually exit, like what I could do is here, let's see if this thing can get profitable again. I'll take one off the table here. All right, so we're up what, $20. So I would click and let me let it move again first before I make this click. Okay, there's 120, 80. Okay, so like I would sell one. Okay, so I took profit on one contract. Now I'm in 3 contracts here. I just sold one. If I want to do that again, say, okay, you know what? I like 105. I had a chance at 105. Let's see. It's 180, 330. Nice. So I was going to take some profit, but now I'm not going to. I will take one. Give me one right there at 405. Give me another at 290. And then we'll let this one run a little bit. See if we can get all the way up back up to here. Good. Did it hit my level? It basically did. We'll call it right there, 165, 160. Super solid trades. So you guys kind of see that. Like we scout from this point, this entire move from start to top where I exited, let's call it a little bit short, was about 12 and a quarter. Let's call it 12. Let's call it 12. The whole thing was actually 12.2, 12.75. Let's call it 12. Okay, so 12 times 4, I'm sorry, 12 times 20 times 4. So total profit on that one could have been, what the hell did I click? Could have been 960. We ended up taking not 960 on that trade. I'll tell you that right now. We did not take 960. But there you go. Like if you wanted to trade with a lot of contracts and scale your way out, but let the winners run, you could do that. Good night. This strategy will probably take a long off this. If price stays outside, it won't. But if price jumps back in, it will. Okay, so there's our full stop. Okay, there it is. There's our buy. Good. I'm going to take it pretty aggressive on this one. So if we get up to like, yeah, there we go, 500, 7, 8, you go 1,000, 800, 800, let's see, 860, 900. 1,100, 1,200. Okay, we'll take 1,040 off that one. So beautiful spot. Fantastic spot off that. That was tremendous. That was exactly what I had in mind as far as the trade goes. So that was sick. You're gonna start your okay. So the bot long trade there. This one's gonna be tricky. Which one was okay? The bot counts that as a win, barely, but a win. So you guys can see like this trade right here, we had a chance to be very profitable, and then we just weren't for whatever reason. We just didn't. It didn't exit, and then the trail was right here. So it basically closed at the same price that it opened. It does count as a win because it closed a little bit higher, but you can see how my results can be a little skewed. All right, so we'll give this thing probably the full 12 points. That's about it. Let's see, or maybe the full. I'm sorry, like 15 points. I think that's where it's set at. So here, right there, I think, right here, right there, almost. All right, so let's see, full 15. Okay, probably gonna get pretty close to it. Maybe not though. We'll find out. Again, if we're trading with one contract, just divide all this by 4, and there you go. So $250 or $260 would be my stop loss. I'd be down $100, and then down 80 or whatever that would be. So just divide everything by 4 if you want to look at one contract and how this would fare out. Okay, heading to my stop loss here. No, you was telling us your story. Nintendo. Nintendo, when you create a bot, like when you systematize your actual strategy, um, the actual win rate that you have, like your success rate, is far lower than you think it would be. And I'm not saying that as like somebody who's hating. I'm saying that as somebody who's created hundreds of these, who's like done I don't know how many lines of code, um, maybe I don't know tens of thousands. Like whatever you think works really well manually, the moment you automate it, like you see for like in real true non-biased numbers, like your strategy probably stinks. Like it's probably not good. And that sounds harsh, um, but it's true. Like it just isn't that good. And the reason for it is not because your system stinks, it's because Like your win rate could be, let's say, like for me personally, let's say I win about 70-ish% of my trades. Some days I win all of them, some days I lose all of them. But let's just say 70% is like where I typically sit. Whatever. Um, some of the trades that I decide to take like are a little bit different than the ones that I decide not to take. Whether those wins I take or the trades I take are wins or losses, that's a different story. But like some of the trades I take, I'm like, oh, I like this setup. I'm gonna take it. And then there might be the same exact setup and I don't take it for whatever reason. And the thing about a bot is it's going to take the exact same setup every time, which is good. But you're really going to figure out like what your true win rate is on your strategy, and it's going to be very unsettling because you thought it was better than what it actually was. And again, that's not me hating. I'm sure your strategy is great, but when you have a bot and you have to tell it to do the exact same thing, and there's no like, well, maybe when this happens and maybe when this happens, it's no. Like, if 1 + 1 = 2, then every time there's a one and a one, then it's two, then there's a trade that happens. And there is no variation, there's no emotions, there's no, you can filter out news, but like these steps are all the same. So just really interesting when you get to start building these trading bots, just how these things actually work, because it is such a fascinating game once you get into it because you're going to be horrible at developing these bots once you learn how to do it. Um, it'll take you a while. It'll be frustrating, but it'll pay off eventually. It'll probably take you years, but it'll pay off eventually. You'll probably abandon your trading strategy, by the way. That's what happened to me. The predictive model is great. We're not going to abandon that. But like when I first started using the trading bots, I was like, damn, this strategy I thought was really good stinks. It is bad. I should not be using this. When the truth is like, no, I should still be using it just with a few parameters in place. So I think a trading bot is actually really good for just seeing if a strategy is good to use manually. And then manually, you would then decide to manipulate the strategy however way you thought you saw fit. So you might not take certain setups. You might only take these setups. You might not take two in a row of a certain kind, whatever it is. So I think actually going backwards and creating a strategy from a bot and then manually trading it is actually probably a smarter thing to do than the other way, making a manual strategy and then making it a bot. All right, so there's 300. I was gonna say let's take two off the table there. Let's take a one off the table. 225, 255, good. 270. Take another one off the table. There was three, now there's two, good. Let's see what we can get. I'm looking at let's close. We can close this one out. Call it 90. All right, so pretty good trade there. Probably end up taking about $300 total on that. So, or yeah, probably about $300 on that. Pretty solid. Pretty solid there.